think so.
Oh.
Live or A-live?
Both. Sneak. Sneaky pants. I don't even know.
Don't even know. I want to see if anyone out there has any more clue than we do. Who has a clue? So the most recent topic of discussion that we had was, what if this whole thing just slowly faded out and it was back to just like normal life, and we had like a hint of a memory of what happened, but other than that, it was as if just like nothing happened whatsoever.
I don't like it.
And you just get up, you do your thing, eat, go to sleep. Somewhat of like a dream time memory that something was going on. That's it.
Mm.
You don't like that possibility?
Nope. I do not.
Because we haven't had a ton of visual evidence in the external that anything was going on. It's been 99% through the boob tube, which we don't watch.
No, it's been, well, yes, it's been that, but it's also been through dreams and visions and journeying. Unless we're all just like really good at making all that shit up when we go within.
Mm-hmm.
Which just means we have really great imaginations. Which what is reality anyways but imagination.
But there are cross-referenced dreams sometimes, right?
Mm-hmm. Often.
So there was that, and then combined with my own internal feeling that I myself am burrowing down really, really, really deep, where there's not, it's mainly just me. Andrea's here too, but when I compare myself to the outside, there's it's just like a very introspective burrow. Like the knowledge that I carry, the external itself gives no fucks about that whatsoever. 100% zero. You're kind of the same way, right? Like your people are not like, what do you think about this world, Andrea? What's going on? Why are we here? Where did we come from? Why are we doing the same thing every single day?
They already have their answers to that. Jesus and heaven is on the way. Don't worry about it.
Now me, motherfucker. Motherfucker. Oh, that one looks kind of like a person. A mushroom.
Where?
It's got like cowboy legs with bell bottoms. See the mushroom man?
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of lasso material.
Uh-huh. Yeehaw!
Yeah. Show you what we're talking about. Oh, you guys haven't seen this one, have you? You've seen this one, but we never had this one up. This is new. This is our weed. Is it weed?
It looks like it's got some MJ up there.
Our weed, whatever these things are called.
Tapestry.
Tapestry, yeah. So, and also we're in a different state, and we have different work, and we have different apartment. Hey, Dad's calling. Dad gets to be on live.
Oh shit.
Hello?
Hello? Hi there.
Hey, Dad.
How's it going there?
Good. You're on live TV, by the way, just to let you know.
I'm on live TV.
Uh-huh.
Are you doing a snail show?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not a snail show. It's just live.
Are you do you have a reality show going there?
Yeah, you're part of it. You're my unexpected guest, I guess.
You didn't know who the guest was going to be, and now you do.
I wasn't planning on having a guest.
You mean you were doing one, and I interrupted that?
Well, I'm just going live, and now you're part of it.
Okay. I don't think it's going to work too well because you wanted to know about Ben.
Oh.
I don't think that would be good on live anything.
Well, can I wrap it up and call you back in like half an hour? Is that okay? Or are you going to bed?
Yeah, one of the things I wanted to tell you is I am planning to go see Barry and Austin and come to see you guys on the way back. Do you want me to stay in a motel? Because I'll do that. I mean, if it's too difficult.
No, stay here. How
have
long are
room?
you planning on staying?
I don't know, a couple of days. It depends on just how things are, how it goes. Yeah, I'm just kind of. I haven't had any vacations yet.
Well, if you come on the weekends, then you're more likely to see more of me.
Right. That's probably what I'll do.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'll be at work most of the day.
For your 800 feet, do you have one bathroom and two bedrooms?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. 1 bathroom, 2 bedrooms, and I guess the living room, which is what you first walk into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a place I could stay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you need me to bring the cot like I was going to before?
Yeah, if you bring something to lay on, that would be better. We only have this one mattress. We need to get furniture. We need everything. We haven't done anything.
I was going to suggest that.
Yeah.
It looked a little austere, but of course,
we don't
you got to
mind
get
it.
on your feet financially before you spend a lot of money.
Yeah, we don't.
Now, is this place? That's what I wanted to ask you. Is this place directly overhead of the shop that you're working at?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought you went out to homes too. Do you go out to homes too, or do you work in the shop mostly?
No. We're never working in the shop, except for we've done some trim coating and a little bit of sanding in there. But for the most part, we're going out to a different job site.
So is this place owned by these people that own this construction business, like your apartment?
No. It's a landlord, but the landlord also he runs like a motorsports store in this same parking lot. So like we know everybody that's around us except for the our neighbor, who's the only other one of possibly 2 tenants that live in this building.
That's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Well, I can talk to you later about all that stuff. So yeah, give me a call back in about half an hour.
Yep, will do.
All righty.
All right.
Talk to you later.
Okay. Bye, Dad.
Bye.
What were we talking about? I guess I should see if anybody's even on here. Let's see how many the YouTube chokehold allowed to squeak through. Seven. 7 indeed. We have 7. Uh-oh. Who said hail Satan? 7 indeed. We have. I don't want this thing to be. I don't want that happening. Hey Nigel. T only is here. Jom is here. The place is really nice, yes. So, the thing I was talking about before, humans are communal creatures, as it would seem. I don't know if it's actually true, but they seem to be herdy type, groupy things, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, by appearances.
I guess, but I wonder if that makes me not human.
But the things that one has to weather in order to not be consumed by whatever is running about here, energetically speaking, it makes you into a non-communal being as compared to the vast majority of the other human-looking entities here. So, I'm trying to inquire into whether it's possible to have any sort of communal anything outside of someone who has myriads upon myriads and levels and layers of knowledge and understanding, even underneath what is consciously available to us. Far too much to talk about ever, or even comprehend or think about. Is it possible for someone who is of that nature to commune in another way aside from watering down the knowledge until it's like a hint of what it used to be? Or just completely remove. Like, when I talk to people normally, I just remove all that. Everything which makes me actually myself, I just swipe it off the table, and then I can communicate with these people. Without a certain amount of communal affection, people will become depressed and lose interest in life. Mm-hmm. And I contrast it with when I watch what I call the NPCs, when they interact with each other, it looks to me like they are just pretending. Like it's just someone told them, this is how you do to look happy, this is how you stretch your face to look angry. And you must do this a certain amount of times per day, go here every single week. And then it's like they just run through the thing. They run around and around and around. And if I jump in there and try to like act along with them, then I can actually squeeze a little bit of good feeling, a tiny bit, out of that situation. But usually it's costing more. It's more expensive than whatever the reward is. We avoid the void we can't avoid. I don't avoid the void. I am the void. I'm in it all the time. And it's completely fine. The virus is a long-term psycho kill job that will fracture the truly aware. What the fuck is a virus? Against most of reptile humanity. And something that I came to terms with, sort of, was that this situation that we're in is not one that gets fixed. It's not one that you say, what's going on here? Oh, these guys are over here doing this, these guys are over here doing that, this group is doing this, this little gaggle of demons is over here fucking each other, the animals are somehow involved, and here's how we fix it. I've never ever felt that that had anything to do with it whatsoever. And it only feels like it's moving further away from that. Mm-hmm. Further away from being able to logic ourselves into some sort of fix for the situation. And so, being that I know that, or I very deeply feel that, there is not a way to fix. There is only a way to somewhat comprehend and somewhat grasp. I always fall back on the void, like what Nigel is talking about. The void is that's where peace is. And it's only a scary thing when you're coming, before all the cycles of ego deaths. After you've gone through all those cycles, the void is just your home. Like, and you couldn't possibly be scared of it. And it really is truly that there's like nothing to do. That whole level, that level of doing, planning, it's like that whole level of experiential scaffolding that you can move with and within. That thing became very infested and infected. So the only way to not get consumed was to completely come back from that apparatus. Completely. Let the thing pass on and, feel the tremors of its wake. And then slowly bring back a little tiny bit of the planning. Like, just, you touch it with, like, the faintest tendril of a thought, Because at a certain point you realize that you don't need any of that. You don't need to be knee-deep in planning. You don't need to be knee-deep in expectations. You can have a very light plan. You can have a light apprehension of what's coming. And that's all you need. And you don't even need that. Because we don't need to be here. We don't need to be living. We don't need to be doing anything. There's no... what's the word? There's no need. There's no person or being wishing for some outcome once you move past the ego self. There isn't. It doesn't exist. There's no God wanting something to happen. There's no devil wanting something to happen. That's all story narrative level. And that is a level. It does exist. You could go find the being that's saying, yes, I want this, or yes, I don't want that. But beyond that, it doesn't exist. So then beyond that, you're left with whatever you are. And how much you wish to try to bring what you are.
Like that just came in here.
Like how Andrea just fell into the room. Who knows?
Did you figure it out?
Which one?
If they're ever gonna come out with the whole thing. Or if it's just gonna be like it never happened.
Oh. I don't know if they even talked about that. Jom says it's happening now.
Who?
Jom James. Both God and the devil are. Yeah, I know, like all of that, yeah. It's like every single spiritual phrase that has ever been uttered or thought of, and all of the tangents that float and swirl around it are all there, and they're all correct, and that's why I don't talk like that, because it's like, I went through so many mental iterations of everything that for me to experience something as not known, it has to be like, there has to be really weird little quirks, little surprises, like studded in.
Boom. Like that.
Yeah, theoretically speaking, like that.
Surprise.
So that's all that really remains, is how to bring something new. And if you think about it, in infinity, in eternity, there shouldn't be a problem pulling that out of the hat. Something new, right?
It's the only thing God wants is to be surprised.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that can be, like, a thing to strive for when you know everything. All you want is to be surprised.
But you also don't like pain, for the most part.
It's kind of you do, though, because it's better than nothing. It's better than boredom. Eternal boredom.
So that's like the tensioner right there.
Mm-hmm.
It's the tensioner between wishing for unknown and then also understanding that pain is like the energetic force, at least part of it, that brings the possibility of unknown.
It's one half of the... It's pain and pleasure and everything in between. Once you choose to have one of those experiences, you choose to have them all.
Mm-hmm. But not all at once.
No.
Luckily.
That's why we have time.
That's what tries to present itself if your mind is too crazy and to start with and you take some drugs, then it tries to show you amongst an infinity of other possibilities, it tries to show you the possibility of everything happening at once. It does a pretty good job of it.
You had that experience.
It's pretty frustrating.
I haven't
it's not
had
fun.
that experience.
Very unexciting. Well, exciting is like one aspect of it, I guess.
Terrifying. Exciting.
Compression. Lots of compression.
We're experiencing a lot of compression now.
Not as much compassion as compression.
Say thee.
They're saying spiritual stuff. I have a plan. I see the door. Could either keep watching and making stories or go through the door. Leave a hologram. Or stay. I plan to go through the door. See, you can't plan to go through the door. The plan destroys the possibility of going through the door. I've been through that one many, many times.
The best you can do is hold the possibility of going through the door and the opposite possibility of not going through the door. And then at the last second, choose one.
You gotta kind of give it up to the dice almost. Let it be door or not door. Let that be the duality, and then like throw the dice.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Last second, make a choice.
Arbitrarily, you can't be exerting lots of desire.
Mm-mm.
I think that's part of what the biblical thing that says like the scales. It's gonna weigh. It's gonna weigh your whether you're internally still or not. If you're grabby or folly or weighty, it's gonna figure out how not to give you what you want.
It's figuring out if there's anything pulling at you inside.
Because that's the only thing that you can truly master. You can only master like being equally okay with everything. Because there isn't actually an end to anything. So if you decide I'm going to master, say, chess, you'll never be the master of chess because it doesn't ever end.
That's why it always kicks your ass.
Yeah. But you can master being eternally balanced.
Not tilted.
Yeah. Not. You can. But that also makes you blend in with all the regular people. And you are a regular person. Regular people are the same thing. They just forgot that they are something different.
Oh, God, there's a lot today.
Sorry?
I can't stop yawning today.
Why would you apologize for that?
It's not me yawning on your show. It's rude.
At the last second, that's still planning.
No, you don't plan it. You just do it.
Yeah. You jump
You don't
out.
think about it.
You jump outside of mind. Who jumps outside of mind? Who am I? These questions are all so old. I feel like every single question that's been asked about the self is just like in a big old like washing machine.
Yeah, it's better if you just say, I don't fucking know, and I'm cool with that.
Because all of that shit that's mostly to help like gurus have a little bit of power. Not even a lot of power, like a little bit. Because all of it's a scam, like at the top of every single thing that anybody ever offered for any power or anything, any promises, it's always the same scam at the top. It's never ever anything.
Yeah, it's a little triangle.
Never once has it been something, never will it be ever. Never. But everything also has its opposite, which is also true, so there is a world where those things could actually offer something. But I know here it doesn't. Am I convincing?
Here it doesn't for some people. For others it does. Look at her eyes. Oh, baby.
She's in one of those things, you know,
Daddy,
your head's about to be chopped.
I don't want to go to the guillotine.
Look at this long kitty cat. He's so long.
His model status.
You're such a long little kitty cat.
You make her go in the most awkward position ever.
Yeah, it's the most helpless.
Bite him, kitty cat.
She's scratching
Bite
your
him.
foot.
Bite.
Hey, don't go on the keyboard, please. You're right here. So, hey Roger, what's up? So, it's like there are many tons of levels, and then I guess you could call them a hierarchy. And then there's the level of like Trump and politics and geopolitics and like money structure and all that jazz. And then there's one step outside of all that, which you just watch that and use it as like a conversation piece occasionally. Very occasionally. But the one step beyond that is populated with about 3 people or 5. Right?
I don't know what you're talking about. You're talking about the families?
No, like stepping outside of the fucking narrative storyline thing and actually being in your selfhood.
There's more than 5. There's just not billions.
I don't think there's billions even here.
There's more than 5 real people. That's what you're talking about? Real people?
I'm talking about people who know that the narrative is just a story.
Yeah, there's more than 5. There's 2 in this room.
Yeah, that's unusual though.
Yeah, but there's more than 5 total.
There's 1 per city.
There's more than 5 cities.
True. And also with all this stuff, like the outside external things, it just becomes boring because lots of yap on TV happens. When you go outside and like drive down the street, everything is exactly the same 3D video game. Nothing has changed whatsoever. With the exception in Portland, there were some riots going on. But as far as what the people, like the NPCs do, nothing ever changes. There's always the same exact amount on the streets. They're always going exactly the same speed. And stores look exactly the same. They ask for masks. And they don't even challenge generally if you don't go in with a mask. And there's never, ever any discussion of what the mask is for. Ever. Never. Doesn't even say on the door what it's for. It just says, the city recommends that everyone who enters this building dons a mask.
At Goodwill, it said, "It's the law."
Yeah, it doesn't mention anything
I'd be
about...
like, it's not a law. No one voted on this.
Doesn't mention anything about a sickness or a virus, even if any of it was real. It doesn't even mention the possibility of like what it could possibly be affiliated with. So that's the only thing that's really changed. Otherwise, the freaking robot realm is just doing exactly what it ever did, in exactly the same way. They can't see us. We don't give a shit about them, and it's just the same thing.
Well, if nothing is different by the end of the year, then I will concede and say nothing will ever be any different. But supposedly there's supposed to be some drama, some flashes, some things in the sky. I fucking hope so. I'm sick of this.
It's like it went too dualistic. So like the things I went through, it was always, is the whole thing in it like, from the atomic level, literally tear apart into something that could never ever be reconciled into any sort of knowable form. Just screeching, tearing, atomic fission, like forever, like exploding outward. It was either that or, like it felt like it was trying to be either that or we never exploded into something in the first place.
No.
That's what it was trying to present as.
No, it's neither.
But I know it's not. I know it's not.
Because
it's
both
not,
of those are the end of the story.
But it's not. It feels like it's struggling to come up with something more in the middle than that. Like
yeah, it's
the
hard.
realm itself is trying to like how do we like do something that's not everything is untenable for all of eternity and horror hell things, or just like we never did anything in the first place.
Both of those two options mean the story is over, and that is not the goal of creation. The goal of creation is to continue the story. So it has to balance out, and is obviously difficult for this place in particular to find a balance point. So it's going to look weird. It's going to look really messy. No one's going to agree on anything. Nobody knows what's going on.
I don't even know what I would tell somebody if someone did come up to me and say like, "Hey, I heard you knew something about anything here. Like, what would you recommend for me to do or to say?"
That's what mushrooms are for.
I wouldn't even know what to tell them.
Mushrooms.
Not that I would ever think someone
You
would
tell
do
them
that.
mushrooms.
I haven't even taken them myself.
Here, you will soon.
I had a bit of a microdose.
You had some tea.
Along with some alcohol. And then, in addition to all that craziness, like, the aware community just harbors, like, resentments towards each other. Or they allow themselves to get divided and conquered. And
It's
then,
because they're really no different from everybody else.
yeah.
No different from any other, like, religion or box that you want to put yourself into. But it has helped a lot of us.
And I don't really see the people changing that much. Ben changed somewhat. But for the most part, like family and
Really?
friends, yeah, have like not changed that much.
Trying to decide if I want to post my desk or not. Look how pretty.
If you're gonna post about your desk or not,
Yeah.
you should.
An antique. It's my first antique purchase.
You should. Yes. Take care, Roger. Thanks for hanging out.
Waffles!
What's up, Andrew? You remember the waffles, huh? So how are we trying to... Are you asking me if I have a plan?
I have no plans.
One can experience without much room or mushrooms. I've had plenty of plans. I mean, I've put on many NPC plans and my own plans, and they tend to sputter out just because the financial system is such a spirit clamp. The financial system was literally meant to very slowly, over eons of time, grab the spirit being and very slowly degrade it. The financial system itself, as a whole, I don't mean like going and making money and you have a certain amount in your bank account and that level kind of goes up and kind of goes down. I mean, as a whole, as like a whole thought system. The finance is a thought system. It's a logic. It's a, what do you call it? It's a causal chain logic system. It literally tells you what to do during the day. And it has been seen for what it was and changed or tried to take out the insidiousness of it, and it has helped to some extent. Bitcoin and other things. Because you see, like, compare, reverse engineer the thought form that is money from something like Bitcoin or Litecoin or any of these cryptocurrencies. Reverse engineer that thought back to what the original Babylonian money structure was, and you'll see it's always been a sort of algorithmic, like, causal chain. It's always been that. It's just it was very cleverly hidden in the current system via, dollar bill and things like that. It was hidden as just, this is just like a way that we keep records of the exchange of goods and services. That's all it is. But that's not what it is. It's a causal chain, and if you don't believe me, then step outside of that causal chain for your next little few movements over the next couple hours and see if you can step outside of it. See if lurking in the back of your mind isn't, well, at this point I have to go do this type of thought that's attached to money somehow. It's definitely a causal chain. You guys said there's going to be this and that. So a plan? Or just random happenings? It's not random. And planning is really the way that you, like, enjoy this existence. You have to have some planning. Otherwise, if you could just dance in eternity and flow and move and feel and be supported energetically for forever, then you wouldn't need a plan, because that's fine. Like, it's okay to do something like that.
That's what it's supposed to be.
But we got degraded from that potentiality into mental locking onto certain things as being fearful, and then mental locking onto their opposites as being something helpful. So, and that, of course, is out from you. It's not your present moment. And then came insurance and houses and grain, what do you call those? Silos, grain silos. All of which is just mental insurance. Car insurance is just mental insurance. So we just pinged back and forth between, and not everyone knows it, but the one thing over here which is screaming impossibilities just multiplying themselves forever, mixing with intricate pain. And then on this side, never happened in the first place. Those are the two things that we've been bouncing back and forth from, but it's not been able to stay in the middle very much. That's why it seems so crazy, because you can't have a conversation with people. You literally cannot go up to an average person, especially in your own family, but possibly in the streets, and say anything about this realm. You have to call it like Earth, or you have to call it the world. And your speech has to be contextually linked with thought forms that they understand. And if you don't do that, then they have weaponized emotive response. And then you don't talk to them anymore. And that's all that it is. Time and space are restrictions. Dancing is still in this story holograph. Yeah, I mean, we need to see outside of this particular matrix at some point. I haven't seen outside of it visually for a long time. Although mentally, I'm always outside of it. Because it doesn't offer that much. This particular hologram is very dead. Very, very dead. Repetitive.
Yeah. Gonna call your dad?
Yeah. Gotta end the show. Find out about Leigh Herman. Hermelane.
Lane of Herm.
The Lane of Herm.
That sounds nasty.
Dead, stagnant, repetitive. Used to be violent, now it's not. It's like it went from being violent and weaponized to just dead. Like if you would imagine the whole thing was being held up by Ouroboros type Yaldabaoth creature who was eating all the energy, and then he just died. So he's not eating it anymore. But he ate almost everybody, so there's only a few that aren't eaten. So you wake up and you're just like floating down a sea of carcasses. That's how she goes, folks. Alright? Goodbye, Saki. Saki ain't got no twofers no more.
No, look at your little girl.
So no, I don't have any plans or advice. I mean, I have plans for the NPC world, which seem to be actually going quite well right now. Very unusually. Those are great, but as far as energetically speaking, nope.
Great tongue. It's there, right?
Yeah.
I was like, why are you putting this? Say hi.
Let's see that
Say
tongue.
thank you for all the love, everybody.
Let's see that
Getting
tongue.
me better. You gotta turn this way.
Can you see it?
Mm-hmm. Just barely.
It's that white, reddish, pinkish thing.
There it
you
is.
go. Well, thanks for hanging out, peoples. We came up with lots of solutions, didn't we?
Yeah, like always. Just figured everything out. Aww.
Bye-bye. Do you have the time? Yo, Peter, hi. Bye. Thanks for modding the last 10 seconds. Peace.